Isn't it? Good morning and happy Friday, the 24th of June. How is everybody? Bit grey today, but I think it's going to be nice later. Have you all been enjoying the sun? I hope you have. So it's good to see everybody live again. I haven't been live on here for quite a long time. And guess what? I'm talking about profit first, just for a change. And what I'm going to be talking about today is what sort of UK freelance or business suits Profit First. Now, if you're interested in Profit First and you want to do a self-study course, we've got a new 6-week program up and running, and the link to it is in the comments on here. Sorry, I've just realised my hair looks horrendous. We'll go to the hairdressers later. So what is Profit First? First of all, Profit First is a financial system, a cash management system for those who don't actually really understand finance. It's really quite clever, actually. It's a waterfall system. So what happens is the money comes into an account and it gets waterfalled out to various different pots, account, spaces, accounts, whatever that you want to call them. So what happens is in a nutshell, your invoice is paid. Instead of keeping it in one account, you divide it up into different areas. Then you pay yourself a profit first. That's it, basically. So the logically minded are quite likely to scoff, but the system is based on the behavioural science, on Parkinson's law, which states work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. So if you think about it, if you've got a deadline for a project that's 10 days ahead, then you will take that full 10 days to do whatever it is that project happens to involve. If your deadline is 48 hours, you will also take 48 hours to do that. But you are likely to be much more innovative on how you do it. And this works with money as well. If you move that money into another place, out of sight, out of mind, then the money that's left in that account is all you have to pay your expenses. Then that is what you will do. You will become innovative. You will run your business in a very, very different way. And once you start to do that, then you'll start to realize how incredibly powerful Profit First actually is. So what we do is we have different pots, different bank accounts. If you read the book by Mike McAlliver, it's called Profit First. You can see it behind me. Actually, you can't because my plant's grown quite a lot now. He suggests that you set up 5 separate accounts. I personally don't. But if you want to go with how the book goes, then that's completely up to you. The minimum accounts that you set up is your profit, your owner's pay, to pay yourself what you deserve. What's the betting that running your own business, you're the last person to get paid? This is where Profit First comes into its own, because it helps you put money aside so that you are paying yourself properly for probably the first time ever. So you've got your profit, you've got your owner's pay, and you've got your tax account. Your tax account is, excuse Piper, she's getting very noise sensitive at the moment, and there's some noise around here, and she growls and barks at everything. And if the postman walks past, God help us. So your tax account, what we're doing is we're saving up for your future taxes. So what we do is we put the money aside from now, and then by the time you have to pay your tax, it's already paid for. It's already paid, sorted out. It gives you the peace of mind. It really, really gives you the peace of mind. So what are the percentages? They vary for everybody. My percentages now are 5% profit, 50% owner's compensation or owner's pay, 15% tax because I'm a limited company and therefore that works for me, and 45% operating expenses. But I also have one for 25% for my team because I want to make sure that they're paid for. And I also have one for VAT. You do not need to have all of those. The most important ones, as I say, is profit, owner's pay, tax. That's it. So what bank do you use? How do you use this? How it works for me, personally, is that I have my main bank account in my Lloyds account, and I have my other bank account in my Starling account, which has loads and loads and loads of different pots. And what I do is the money comes into my Lloyds account, I waterfall it off into the Starling account and into those different pots. And then once a month, I take the money out of my team account and out of my owner's pay account in order to pay my salary and pay my team their wages. That's it. Once a quarter, I take out the money out of the VAT pot to pay HMRC because it doesn't belong to us. And I also take out half of whatever is in my profit pot, which is my reward, not my pay, my reward for running my business, for doing what I do best, for loving what I do, because that's what Profit First does, is it rewards you for what you're doing. So there are a lot of very frequently asked questions by people who are learning about Profit First. Firstly of all, I would suggest that you read the book. If you don't want to read the book, then read the first couple of chapters. If you go to my website, Hetty Verney, hang on, I think I can do this. That's the link. If I go to my website, Hetty Verney Accounting, .co.uk. Come on. There we go. If you go to my website and you scroll down to the profit bit, then you will be able to click on the link and download the first couple of chapters of the book. Once you've done that, you will be hooked. It will be amazing. So I'm putting the link back up there for the new course, which is called Cash Management: A Fresh Perspective. And if you join before the end of June, you get an early bird price for a start, but you also get me at the end for a one-to-one for 90 minutes to go through all of your accounts, work out what your percentages should be and how to set up Profit First working for you properly. So the questions that I get asked are, oh God, it sounds so complicated. Is it really difficult to do? It takes 10 minutes a week, and it is absolutely life-changing. Not just game-changing, life-changing. So literally once a week, because that's the routine and rhythm that I use, I transfer the money from my Lloyds account into my Starling account and into the different pots. Done. Sorted. Can I change the percentages? Yes, absolutely. Every business and every business owner is different. And it also depends on whether you're a sole trader or whether you're a limited company. The real benefit of Profit First is that it acts as a really early warning system for your business viability. You cannot cheat the percentages. If the adjustments still see you in the red, then you'll need to cut your expenses or pay yourself less, whichever it happens to be. Can I use set amounts? Now, a lot of people ask this question. Yes, you can use set amounts, but then it's not Profit First. It's the percentages which are the game changer. In a feast month, you put more in. So when a famine month comes along, you're already covered. You've got a buffer. That is the brilliant thing about it. Set amounts mean that you're not cutting your coat according to your cloth, which is what we all need to do in our business. Can I move money between the pots? Yes. Although I only do it if there's a significant surplus in my main account. Just don't touch a tax pot, because that's the most important one, especially if you are a sole trader. This is your first year maybe, and you've got to pay a payment on account because your tax liability is just over £1,500 now, and you have to account for not only your tax liability, you have to account for your class 4 national insurance liability. Excuse me. Very dry throat today. Various people say, I cannot see the logic in the system. That is absolutely fine. Profit First can be a bit Marmite, so it isn't for everybody. And if traditional bookkeeping works for you, go on then, carry on with it. How did our other accountants react? Some really don't like it, and others absolutely love it. Again, it's a Marmite thing. A lot of accountants say, oh my goodness, you've got all these extra accounts. I've got so much more to reconcile. It's going to take them so much long. It's not. It's a bank transfer from one account to another account, and from that account back to your main account. That's it. Yes, there are a lot of transfers. It seems complicated. It is not. Once you've got a system set up, it works for you. So if you want to find out more about Profit First and how it works for me and how you can set it up in your business, have a look at this link, hettyverneymentoring.co.uk, and you'll see the new Cash Management Fresh Perspective course. I would love to see you on there. Profit First has changed my life. It's changed my business. It's changed how I run my business, but it also changes how I focus on my business. I do not focus quite so much on the turnover. Everyone's always talking about, oh, well, are you 6 figures or 7 figures or 8 figures or whatever it happens to be? It doesn't make the slightest bit of difference. You can be making a £5 million turnover and have very, very small profit. You can also be making a £20,000 turnover and have an £18,000 profit. It depends on how you run your business. And what Profit First does is it helps you understand how you're running your business, what it means, and how you can increase the profit. Not the turnover necessarily. Turnover may well come into it, depending on what it is that you've got to change in the business in order to make more profit. It could easily be more turnover. It could also easily be, and more often than not, it is reducing those expenses. Once you increase the net profit, you know that your tax is going to go up. In order to be able to pay for that, you've got to make sure that you've got the money set aside. If you're setting aside fixed amounts, it is not going to work for you. I've banged on quite long enough about this. Profit First is my life. I absolutely love it. I live it, and it's wonderful. If you want to come and have a look at the course, please do. It's 13 modules over 6 weeks. You get me halfway through as well on a question and answer session. And there are bound to be questions and answers. But it is the most amazing thing to do for your business and for yourself. A lot of people do it in their own personal lives as well. Anyhow, I will see you next week. Please come along and have a look at the course. Or if you know of anybody who's running their business, they're really struggling, they're not paying themselves properly, this is the course for them. Lovely to see you. Thank you. Bye.